Nobody has ever escaped from Alcatraz, officially. But one June night in 1962, 3 bank robbers got out of the prison America called escape-proof, with sharpened spoons, 50 raincoats, and human hair. For months they dug through the concrete behind their cells. With spoons. They left dummy heads in their beds. Real human hair, and the night guards counted them present. Then, up through the vents, across the roof, down a pipe, and into San Francisco Bay, on a raft stitched from more than 50 raincoats. By the morning count, they were gone. The FBI hunted them for 17 years, found nothing, and closed the case. Presumed drowned. Presumed. The U.S. Marshals never closed theirs. 64 years later, it is still open. 3 men, 1 night. Here's how they did it. Alcatraz was built to be the prison system's prison. The men no other prison could hold. The escape artists, the riot starters, got shipped to a rock in San Francisco Bay, ringed by water around 50 degrees, with currents that pull straight out to sea. 36 men tried to get off that island. 14 attempts, 23 caught, 6 shot dead, 2 drowned, 5 vanished, presumed drowned, never found. One attempt in 1946 became a 2-day siege with grenades and Marines. 5 men died. So, by June 1962, the record after 28 years was simple. 0 confirmed escapes. Ever. Frank Morris looked at that record and started collecting spoons. Morris was the prison system's problem child. Orphaned at 11, first convicted in his early teens, and reportedly tested in the top 2% of the country. Intelligence he spent entirely on escaping prisons. He kept getting out. So the government sent him to the one place built for people who get out. Around him, John and Clarence Anglin, brothers who had robbed an Alabama bank of $19,000 with a toy gun, now in cells side by side. And Alan West, a car thief on his second stay. 4 men who knew each other from other prisons, sitting in a fortress with a secret. 50 years of salt air had been quietly eating its concrete. Morris noticed. It began in December 1961, with a few rusted saw blades, found, the story goes, while West was cleaning a utility corridor, because behind every cell ran a corridor no guard patrolled, and the only thing between a cell and that corridor was a 6 by 9 inch vent, set in concrete the sea had spent decades softening. So they dug. Sharpened spoons from the cafeteria, a drill built from a stolen vacuum cleaner motor, too loud, barely useful, so mostly spoons. Evenings, 5:30 to 9. 1 man digging, 1 on watch, Morris's accordion covering the scrape of metal on concrete. Painted cardboard hid the holes. The prison counted its men about a dozen times a day and saw nothing. Alcatraz's real weakness was never the water, it was the walls. On top of the cell block, under the roof, was a dead space no one used. They made it a workshop. More than 50 raincoats, some donated, some stolen, became a 6 by 14-foot raft, seams pressed together on hot steam pipes. Life vests copied from a design in that march's popular mechanics. Wooden paddles, a concertina rebuilt into a bellows to inflate the raft on the shore. And the masterpiece, dummy heads, homemade plaster, flesh-tone paint from prison art kits, real human hair swept off the barbershop floor. The Anglins named them Oink and Oscar. Every piece of it built at night inside America's tightest prison out of garbage. By June, everything was ready, except one man's vent. June 11th, 9:30 p.m., lights out. Morris passed the word, tonight. The heads went onto the pillows. 3 men slid through the backs of their cells. The 4th couldn't. West had patched around his own grill with cement, and the cement had hardened. Clarence kicked at it from the corridor. It held. At 9:37, they left without him, 30 feet up the plumbing. Out through a roof ventilator they'd unbolted with a homemade wrench. 100 feet of open rooftop, 50 feet down a pipe, over the fence, down to the northeast shore by the power plant. A blind spot in the searchlights. Around 10, they pushed a raft made of raincoats into the black water. Hours later, West finally broke through and reached the roof. Empty. He went back to bed. 7:15 a.m. A guard reached in to shake Clarence Anglin awake, and the head rolled off the pillow and hit the floor. What followed was 10 days of boats, helicopters, and soldiers sweeping the bay, the shorelines, the headlands. The FBI ran leads across the country. Relatives, records, fingerprints, boat operators told to watch the water. And West, the man left behind, told them everything. The raft, Angel Island, the swim to Marin, the stolen car that never got stolen. All anyone had to do now was find them. The bay answered first. June 14th. A wooden paddle floating 200 yards off Angel Island, right where the plan said they'd go. That same day, a packet, wrapped watertight, photos and addresses of the Anglin family. The one thing a fugitive guards with his life floating loose in the bay. June 21st. A homemade life vest, washed up on a beach outside the Golden Gate. June 22nd. A second vest, 50 yards off Alcatraz, with teeth marks in the valve. And on July 17th, a Norwegian freighter reported a body in denim floating out past the bridge. Never recovered, never identified. Years later, bones from a beach to the north were tested against both families. No match. Everything the bay returned, says Raft. Nothing the bay returned, says men. The FBI worked it for 17 years. Every rumor, every sighting, every fingerprint, nothing held. On December 31st, 1979, the file closed. Most likely drowned. Most likely. Then, in 2014, Dutch scientists rebuilt that night in a computer. Every tide, every current. Leave before 11:30, the model says, and the bay sweeps you out to sea. Leave by midnight, and the tide itself carries you to a beach past the Golden Gate. The window was real. And the family kept collecting reasons to believe. Christmas cards in the brothers' handwriting that no one can date. A photograph from Brazil, 1975. 2 men a retired marshal called the best lead in 50 years. And in 2013, a letter. My name is John Anglin. Yes, we all made it that night, but barely. The FBI tested it. Inconclusive. Here is what should end this story, and doesn't. The U.S. Marshals never accepted drowned. Their written policy, the hunt goes on until the men are arrested, proven dead, or turn 99. In 2022, 60 years in, they released new wanted posters, 3 faces aged into their 90s. And here's the twist you'd never script. The escape didn't close Alcatraz. Money did. The Rock cost 3 times as much to run as any other federal prison, and it shut down 9 months later. So the official record still reads, nobody has ever escaped from Alcatraz. 64 years on, the United States is still paying people to make sure that sentence stays true. If it ever was. If you like stories where the record and the evidence don't quite agree, subscribe. History is full of them.